Okay, yes. So I'm going to start out on a daily higher time frame here. I'm going to gradually work my way into the current price action, and we'll break down the chart from there and see if we can find some nice trades. Starting out on daily here. Been talking about this large uptrend and the breaker structure. You can see we hit the demand area here around the 50% mark. We made that move up. We broke some structure here. So now it becomes a case of, are we going to continue up further, or are we going to get that pullback where we can potentially look at the next higher low? Well, it becomes a case of patience here, because although we have hit real high time frame resistance, and I can show you a couple of cases here why this is quite significant resistance. Obviously, you can see this daily supply here, which has a lot of volume in, which is basically all the volume from, all the most volume from this move down, this downtrend here. You can see this volume profile. So you've got a point of control in that previous daily demand, and then that is literally like the point there at which you initiated that move down. Now we're just chilling in this one here. Got a daily close above us. It would be nice to touch that, because we have got like a 4-hour gap that will be closed at that point. So very much interested in that zone. I'll talk about that more in a sec. I think this is also quite significant, as you've got RSI here. So this was the point obviously where you went down and broke some structure. This was the high here, and you can see that. And then you've made a lower high here at this point, but the RSI is much more overbought. So this is just confirming our idea that this is very extended. You add that onto the Fibonacci levels. If you take this high here, you're around a 702, 786. If you take this high here, you're around an 886. And if you take this high, you're around 92, 95. So pick your poison on those highs. But again, just goes back to the fact that we are very extended here. So, longs aren't so safe on a swing trading perspective, but definitely there'll be scalps to have. So let's take a look at what's next potentially. So we're looking at this 4-hour range. That was the breaker structure I was talking about. You can see we got a clear break of that structure, and now we're just chilling in this area here. You can see that gap right there. That's the one I talked about, and that's the daily close, and these are the overlapping daily demand zones. So right now we're just chilling in this range here, and we're just basically just eating away at this resistance. And it's a case of patience now. Is, do we continue up, or do we get that pullback? And if we do get a pullback, we now come into territory where we're very much interested in longs, and we have um, a decent chance to catch that next move up, because we are very bullish, and the structure says that. We haven't really had a significant pullback at this one occasion here, but we haven't really had a significant pullback along the way. So we could just make that next move up and then come down, or we could begin to come down. So it becomes a case of waiting for the 4-hour breaks of structure, or the internal breaks of structure. So we need to wait for the 4-hour to give us a sign, really. Anyway, we can wait for that, but there is also an option to potentially look at the medium time frames as well. So we look at the 15-minute. This is my trade idea, and I'll just go back into that now. So basically, I'm looking at this like, let me get rid of some of this stuff. I'm looking at this as simply a range. Let's just keep that for a minute. I'm just looking at this like a range, because that's all it is right now. This is our supply side, and this is the demand side. Now you've got zones around here, and these are obviously, this is the range high, this is the range low, midpoint, and these are deviation fibs or TR pockets. So obviously we're looking, if we are going to come outside the range and deviate, then this lines up quite nicely, this zone here that I was just talking about. And you've also got another zone down here, so there's a potential long opportunity down there, and there's a potential short opportunity down there. And we may get that this week, but for now, it's a case of just playing the range. So what happened on Friday is I was getting long in this position down here, and I was looking for just a nice and easy day trade. Got that, really happy, made some nice money on that, and then closed out for the weekend. So now Monday becomes a new week, so it's a case of just letting the price action come to us really and decide where we want to play the game. I think this is a decent zone here. You've got some liquidity right there, so you could potentially come up, take that, and then come down, or you could even take that high, take that wick right there. So this is, you know, definitely some interesting zone here, and this is just obviously a range high, so this could offer you a really nice scalp short down here. You've also got a potential scalp long in this zone. Obviously that is an area where the price spent a fair bit of time, and there's also some other levels I'll show you in there in a sec. But obviously if you're playing a range, you want to be looking towards the value area low, and you want to be looking towards the range lows, so potentially a little SFP of those, or even a front run around that zone. So the long zone is clear, and they're a little bit more risky because of what we just talked about in the higher time frames. You know, you can see how extended we are. A little bit more risky because what we really want to do, let me just get this. What we really want to see is the 15-minute starting to close candles below this low right here. So this is currently the 15-minute swing structure we're working within. This is another reason I took that long, because it came down into an area of discount. See that right there. Ooh. You can see that came down into 618, 702. So this right now is like my bias. So I have put on a 1-to-1 here, which you'll see. So again, that's an area of interest. The idea here being that we may continue to go up, but we're still in a range. So longs are a little more risky because we would be breaking that low structure. So it would be a case of trying to get a quick scalp. But if we start closing candles below here, it may be a sign that we are about to get that shift and that next move down, where we could be looking for that larger pullback to get into longs. So, you know, there's a nice few areas along the way down onto the downside. So definitely be careful of those lows. Be much more interested in this short. So I just had that idea here. You can see we've got the 1-to-1 of this move here. You've got the Fibonacci TR pocket, and you've got that daily close, which is also a 4-hour imbalance fill. So the idea here, we come up, we take the liquidity, we come back, we back test it, and we short it. Simple as. That's the idea. And yet these are some of the other levels. So now we've also got the daily opens here, previous day equilibrium. You can see we just tapped off the CME open, took out the Asia liquidity, and below in that level I just talked about before, potential long scalps, you've got the previous day point of control, previous day value area low, and a time point of control. So definitely an area to watch on the lows. And yeah, just stick to the plan. I think it's a decent enough plan. Main idea is patience, as always. So good luck.